Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to crochet this cute Santa bag backpack. It has candy cane inspired I-cords that are all the way around for the drawstring. It has a little white closure right here. And the backpack has the straps here in the back, which you can adjust to the length that works for you. It has a circular base and then goes upward. The entire project is made using the crochet waistcoat stitch, which is also known as the crochet knit stitch. You can use a different stitch if you like, but this one provides quite a bit of stability and sturdiness and makes sure that there's no gaps anywhere around and provides a beautiful texture for the bag. So it looks kind of was knitted even though it was crocheted. The entire bag is made using Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton yarn, which is a number 4 weighted yarn. I also used a 4mm hook and I used an I-cord machine in order to knit these I-cords. Now you can crochet them if you wish. I have a separate video for that if you wish to crochet them, but I also have a video on how to make the I-cords. So let's get started with this companion video, which doesn't teach you every tiny bit of it, but enough to get you started and to work through the pattern. It is much easier than you might think. So let's get started. To get started, you will need a magic ring, chain 1, and add 6 loose single crochet stitches. Yes, you want them loose because for the waistcoat stitch, you need a foundation and you want to make sure that you have loose tension with the waistcoat stitch. It is much harder if you do it at tight tension. Once you're done, close up your hole. And then use a stitch marker, or for me, I like to use the end of the yarn to mark my spot between the last stitch as well as the new stitch. So here's now where it gets a little tricky. You will insert your hook not on the top like you would normally do, but you're actually going through the stitches. So it actually helps to have the hole not closed all the way so you can see your stitches. So look at your single crochet stitch. So you're going to not insert it below the top V, but actually the front V right here. And you're splitting it right through in order to crochet the waistcoat stitch. All you're doing is inserting it right through the stitch and making your single crochet. You're placing 2 stitches per stitch. So that means after round 2, you will end up with 12 stitches. Keep your tension loose and you will make your life much easier doing this pattern. At the end of the round, move your stitch marker 1 round up, and now we're going to continue. Again, the entire pattern is made with the waistcoat stitch, so we're going to continue with that. Now we're going to do the very first stitch as just 1 stitch, so 1 waistcoat stitch, and in the next stitch you're going to place an increase, so 2 waistcoat stitches in the following stitch. Now you're repeating. That means 1 waistcoat stitch, and in the next one it's 2 waistcoat stitches. Do that all the way until the end. In the following round, you're going to place 1 waistcoat stitch in the first stitch, 1 waistcoat stitch in the next stitch, and then you do an increase. That means 2 waistcoat stitches in the following stitch. Now you're going to repeat that till the end. So 1, 1, and then 2. Now you will continue on that pattern by crocheting 1 waistcoat stitch in each stitch, and every time you see the increase, you're going to place an increase on top. You're going to continue that until you have 20 waistcoat stitches between each increase. Once you do that, then you're going to crochet 1 single crochet into the 3rd loop behind the V, which I'm going to show you now, and then we're going to continue. So pretend that I just did that giant circle, and now it's time to do the 3rd loop behind the V. So let me show you what that actually is. So right here, you see the top V. We have the front loop, the back loop, and then right behind here is the third loop behind the V. So you're going to place one round of just single crochet stitches right through that third loop. Again, keep your stitches loose and you will make your life much easier, because otherwise it's going to hurt your wrist. So loose tension is very important here. You're doing that for one round. Once you finish the round, you're simply going to place waistcoat stitches again. So that means instead of going next to the stitch, which is pretty much right underneath the top V, like so, you're not doing that. You're actually splitting your front V of the single crochet in half, and therefore crocheting the waistcoat stitch. So go right through that stitch and split the front V in half, and therefore creating waistcoat stitches. You're going to do one stitch per stitch. You're going to continue that one stitch per stitch in waistcoat stitch with the color red until you have 31 rounds. However, because the waistcoat stitch is a very interesting stitch, it provides a little bit of a different tension. You may need to decrease here in the beginning a little bit. I did that and I did just a few of them all around in round 3 of the height of the bag until I had 130 stitches all around in one round. So decrease a little bit here in the beginning to end up with 130 stitches. Then I did 8 rounds of just white, and then I split up my entire round into 10 stitches. So here's what I did. I did 6 stitches using the waistcoat stitch, and then I did skip 4 and chain 4. That brings me to 10 stitches. I did this repeat all the way around. Once I hit the end of the round, I did 6 waistcoat stitches, then 4 single crochet stitches into the chains, and then I repeated that until the end. Then I did in the next round just waistcoat stitches. I repeated that until I had, in total, I ended up with 17 rounds of white, and at the very last round, I did 1 round of just slip stitches. That provides me this beautiful edging that's a little bit thicker and provides stability for the bag. Next, you're going to work on your little white piece right here. You're going to crochet 21 chains. Starting from the second chain from the hook, you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch, and you do that until you have 4 rounds of single crochets. Then you're going to fold it in half, sew the ends together, and then sew through the center to create these 2 holes. Next, you're going to either crochet or knit your I-cords. I used my knitting machine for this. I made 2 I-cords. I made the I-cords about 60 to 65 inches long, each of them. Then I sewed the end together on one side, clamped it down, and then I spun my 2 pieces, the white and the red, both in the same direction. Then when you put them together and let go of the end, it'll twist to this format automatically. You're going to continue that all the way till the end and then sew the ends together. The twisting of it keeps it in shape and it will not untwist it, and it will stay this way. Again, you can do this in a knitted format. I have a tutorial down below that teaches you how to do that with an I-cord machine. It's just a little crank and it goes super, super fast. I made these in just a few minutes. You can also crochet the I-cord. You can make it into 2 stitches per row of single crochet stitches. It's totally up to you. You can even buy a cord and just weave it through. It doesn't have to be the way I did it. Let your creativity be wild and make it the way you like to. Now let's talk about the backpack straps, okay? This is actually one long strap and it is made using single crochet stitches. I made a chain of 6. Starting from the second chain from the hook, I crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. I did that until I had the length that was needed for my body. Now, everyone's body is different, so remember there is a little bit of a stretch to it, okay? If you want to prevent a stretch, you can easily add some fabric behind here or weave some yarn through and attach it to the end pieces in order to prevent it from stretching out. There's many different ways in how you can do that. You can even buy a leather strap and attach it directly so that you have a backpack without using yarn. It is totally up to you. Now, how did I sew it on? I attached them here on the bottom, okay, on the back side, wherever there was my little seam. So I have a little seam right here. I had a seam below here, which you can't see anymore. You might be able to see it on this side. Right here is where I switched the colors. So that is my back side. So I attached both of these right here first. I did not do this one first. I did these ones first. So I sewed it in a square and then I went in an X. That provides a lot of stability. I simply did the running stitch on both of these pieces. Then I held this up to make sure it is even. As you can see, this is even. And then I laid the center of it right here. Again, I crocheted in a rectangle in this case using the running stitch. You could make an X through as well if you wish to do so. That is all. This is how you do the backpack. It is super easy and super fun to crochet. Remember that this pattern is available for free on my website. You can also buy the kit for this pattern, which is through LineBrand, where you get both the PDF as well as the yarn sent to you directly in the mail. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. It is super cute and super fun and perfect for the Christmas time. If you like this pattern and this video, please like, comment, and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I publish a new video or go live. I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye!